I was just listening to this guy that's on YouTube, Psychic Ray, was it Rodriguez? Ray something. Let me look it up again. It just goes under Psychic Medium Ray. Okay. He was doing a talk on this Doreen virtue. Now, those that don't know, Doreen virtue was someone that was creating the decks of cards, a lot of angels, a lot of things like that. And then she stopped and, said she found Christ and had a, total revelation and, turned her back on tarot, and now she's writing a blog, all these things happened. So I decided I would do a reading on her as he was speaking and see what came up, and it was just kind of interesting. So what I saw, and I saw the pictures of her there, and it was amazing. The first picture of her, clear eyes, beautiful soul, just a lot of light. And as it progressed, there's one photo there that it's just her eyes become very dark, like, and something like that. You could see like an oppression there. And then she had opened herself up to some dark forces. I don't think she was possessed. I think she was oppressed. So, but here we go, and I'll show you what it is. It's, devil, ego. When I see the devil, I don't think of Satan running around trying to, usually the devil is more of that ego, wanting power, that type of thing, which opens one up to nasties, okay? So we have the devil, we have the ego card, and what came rapidly when she stepped into this point of ego was, more of those dark identification forces, was that, and I think this represents basically an oppression, that it took over, disarmed her, that she went from seeing to no longer seeing, knowing, no longer accessing and having that wish to find something on the other side of the door. So they started to close her off. Again, we had here this Queen of Swords, but this Queen of Swords is not happy. It's measuring this, measuring that, and it put like an end to where she was going there, and then she started something new. She said she basically got religion, got saved, etc. And I think it was saying that this ego thing had gained strength. She had all of this money and things on her doorstep, and again, that can cause the ego to go a little crazy. What else I got was underneath of it. Now, these I do cards from the bottom, what's underneath of things. And we have here what was being birthed in her is this sense of, that fear that rose. And I don't want anything from that spiritual realm like that, that they're discounting all of that now. And, anybody through, if you're doing a spiritual journey, eventually you're going to face like a dark night of the soul, or the temptations, or those things that come up, okay? And those are things we have to transition through in our own lives. That shadow self, the shadow things, they will come up, and it will feel like it's something externalized to yourself. And I think she got caught in that and went into fear mode and shut down and wasn't ready to see. So again, that put in, and this is what's underneath of it. The beginning and the end, the Fool card. For her, this was the end of what she was doing. Again, closing off, not wanting to see, and walking away. And walking away from the tarot in that spiritual sense. Again, she felt like she's being shackled. She went to seeing that this is higher power, and so that was the way she was going to fight what was taking place. So I think that really in her case, what I see it as, you know, the rise of ego, and it, rather than looking and questioning it at a deep level as to what is going on, it disarmed her, and she shut down and went back to her roots. Nothing, and now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's something wrong with Christianity or anything. No, I'm not saying that at all. You know, Christ came and Christ gave absolutely what he could do to reform Judaism at that time, to give more expanded truths, to, you know, give the word, the way, the truth, the life, how to go, how to navigate. So I'm not discounting any of that. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's a wonderful way to live. And those of us that are, you know, if you're on a spiritual journey, you should live by those rules, those recommendations, those truths. Absolutely, 100%, the way, the truth, and the life. You know, that's the way one should live, but not do it in fear mode. But she went there in fear mode, and she's clinging to it because this stuff started rising up. And rather than looking at it, going deeper and cutting through it, she ran from it, hid from it, and is using her going and getting baptized, getting saved, etc., what you would term that, as a way to fight and to put it on a back burner. Abdicate from looking at what's actually going on, to have somebody else basically try to take care of it for her. So I think at this point she just wasn't strong enough to navigate the journey, was not trusting God enough to navigate the journey. These things rose up and she freaked out and ran, and now she is discounting everything to do with spirituality, cards, etc. Okay. Now what, and I know I get a lot of Christians here, you're going to hell, this and that, and what they don't know, or they haven't really looked at, in the Old Testament, the high priest had the Urim and Thummim on the breastplate, and these were divisionary tools to divine things, to, you know, they were tools used to divine the will of God. Okay. Used by the high priest in the temple. Okay. So, you know, we're not talking about, you know, they talk about not going with familiar spirits and stuff. That's again something different. Talking about doing dark, you know, the Bible's talking more about not engaging in black magic, dark magic, those types of things where you are going to oppress and repress someone. Okay. But clearly, you know, if you look, Christ had powers. And Christ even one time cursed something. What do you know what he cursed? Christ cursed the fig tree because it wasn't producing fruit. So another lesson from Christ, if you are supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing, there should be some fruit, some growth behind your actions. If not, you wither up and you're gone. It's a waste, okay? So he cursed the fig tree because it wasn't producing fruit. Same thing, like they say, you know, faith without works is dead. In other words, whatever it is that you're working on, you should produce some fruit, should be coming from it. They say, you know the tree by the fruit that it is producing, just like you know a teacher by their students, okay? Now, and again, this is another reason why I talk so much about errant gurus, because you'll see that their students, you have the one, like I use Nityananda as an example because he's the worst of the lot now. He is totally, he's out of his mind. He's drunk on power and really has nothing to give people. He talks in circles and he takes their money. He just gives them a lot of nonsense. And his people will go and try to put curses on people. They really do nasty, nasty, nasty things. And he advocates it. Okay, he advocates it. I've had them come and do really nasty things. They take my email address. They sign me up for sex toys. I mean, all sorts of stuff these people will do. There is no low they will not stoop to. Okay? There is no spiritual teacher that would ever condone such actions. No genuine spiritual teacher. If one of my students ever did something like that, they'd be gone in a heartbeat. This is not, no. My students are not allowed to go and talk to any of these ones. They're there to do their practices, to go forward in their spiritual journey. These are not things that you engage. And just like people want to say that God put Trump there, he's our light. These evangelicals. Well, if this is what they're putting on a throne, somebody that's a liar, okay? And who's the grand liar? Satan. Satan, ego lies, okay? So that's who they're following, not God, not God of truth, the light, love, expressing wanting the best for humanity. No, they are following the one of ego. It's all for me. That's it. Money, power, ego. Okay? That's what they're following. So 180 degrees away from the path and what it should be. So I'm going to leave this here, but I thought it was very interesting as he was talking to do that reading to see what was coming out. And indeed, yeah, came out that she really became not possessed, but I would say oppressed by these things because she opened herself up and didn't know how to navigate through that. But again, if you are on a serious spiritual path, eventually you will have, just like Christ had. Remember, Christ is there to show the way. Okay? This is what happens on a spiritual path. Remember, he had the temptations. What did ego say? Just worship ego. Worship. You can have everything. Use your powers to promote yourself, to get this, to get that, and you can have whatever you want in the world. And Christ said, No. You get behind me, Satan. Get behind me. I'm not, no. Okay? Okay? So all of these are grand lessons how to navigate, to go forward. It's not easy. It's not easy. Like also the Bible says that you have to, the gold has to be melted. You have to take out the impurities of it. Okay? Do you think that's an easy process? You got to go through the fires of purification. Okay? To get rid of the dross. To get rid of the things that are not like refining gold. When you refine gold, you melt it, and then the things that are whatever is not gold, they get rid of it, refine it. You refine the gold. You take out the things that are not 100% gold, okay, through a refining process. Get rid of the dross, okay. So any spiritual journey is not easy. Everyone on a genuine spiritual journey is going to confront those things, have to face those things. Okay? And we had the greats like Christ that would come and show the way. These are the things that will come up. This is what you have to face. And even if you are so afraid, you still have to go forward. Remember when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane before the crucifixion? He knew it was coming. He didn't run away. But he was in fear. He was sweating blood. Now that's fear. When you are sweating blood, that is fear mode. But he knew this was his path to go forward. And he did it. Okay? He did it. So again, all of these things there are there to show a way forward. And again, even if you are in absolute fear, you have to continue forward in your path, in your journey, in order to get to discover the ultimate truth of God. What is God? You know, what is that divine seed of is that gives us all life? That's the life of all life and the death of all death. That's the good news. It's the life of all life and the death of all death. Once you finally discover, enter into realization, the ego persona dismantles, and what remains is that purified, that absolute pure seed of divine is. Okay? And once that's known, once that's part and parcel of consciousness, all the baggage is at an end. Suffering is at an end. Doesn't mean there won't be pain. There's pain, but the mental anguish of suffering is no longer there. It has no place to reside any longer. Because you know that whatever is in this divisionary world is transient. Okay? It's transient. But that God, source, self is eternal. Eternal, unchanging, never touched by any of the things that happen in this transient world. Okay? So, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you, Doreen Virtue, for allowing this to come forward. So, I hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday. Thank you so much and have a great day.